And hello, and welcome everyone to a very special installment of the Comic Multiverse. It's the big post-Fandome show, Matt, and it is Dome, not Fandom, as I've been desperately trying to get over.
The Fandome, yes, because it was in the dome.
Yes, I guess so. I guess part of me just secretly wanted Aisha Tyler to come out there and be like, hey, guess what? It's Domin time, but it wasn't. Might I say, Aisha Tyler, it was surprising to see her there, because it's like, doesn't usually Ubisoft get her every year, but I guess, they snatched her up.
Yeah, I get. Well, I guess there's no actual E3 this year, and with all Ubisoft's going on, they've got other things to worry about, and as well, she wasn't insufferable like she was in those E3 videos where she's trying all that humor that just doesn't work.
She was by far the best host. In fact, she got the biggest interview of all, getting to talk to Matt Reeves about the new Batman.
Absolutely.
She was very good at her job, and also, perfectly lines up too, because we're getting a new season of Archer soon. So the second I saw her, I was just, Lana! You see, this is why they pre-recorded all these things, people. Not because, AT&T fired a bunch of people and it's a grim specter that hands over the event. It's because they didn't want fans like us to ruin Fandome. And oh boy, there was a couple minutes there where I'm sure fans would really have spammed the chat if these weren't pre-recorded.
Oh, absolutely. I could see because in the live stream there was a chat as well, and yeah, I could tell you'd have people spamming it if it was live.
Yeah. Some of these too, you could tell oh, you recorded these months ago, didn't you?
Like back when the event was announced.
Yeah, you could tell that some of these were old because Jim Lee still had life and happiness in his eyes. Before the great bloodletting, there was a whole bit there where he's talking to a guy about his art. It's like, yeah, man, your art looks so great. Oh, I love your style. I love your everything. I'm like, is he going to offer him a job at the end of this? Oh, no, we can't hire anybody right now. I'm sorry.
That was filmed the day before all of this went down.
Fuck. Also, hey, I guess a big piece of news that predates even the show itself. It was supposed to be longer. It was supposed to actually involve new comic book stuff, but that got cut up and moved.
Yeah, to what, 3 weeks ago, or 3 weeks from now, or something, on September 13th or something.
Something like that.
So also, it's just an afterthought.
Yeah, also, thank you, Motorizer the Great. Again, to quote our mutual friend and comic book YouTuber, Professor Thorgy, oh, great, it's like, an amalgamation of everything I was afraid about in this new AT&T era of DC Comics. Fuck the comics, we only care about movies and TV and video games. Get out of here with your damn funny books.
Yep. We got one comic book thing, really, and it was really and it felt like it was like a last-minute thing.
And also because a movie guy wrote it.
Yep.
Screw all these other writers. Movie guy.
Yep.
Is what it's all about. Oh, we love Professor Thorgy too, Gamma. He is in my D&D game, Capes and Quests, every other Thursday. Plug within a plug for a show I'm already doing. But, Matt was nice enough to put together kind of a timeline of events within the show itself. So we're going to go through here and we're going to check it out. We're going to give our thoughts and everything, and it's going to be a good time. We got at least 30 people joining us here on a Saturday. Thank you for that. We know this isn't our normal day.
Yeah, we had perfect time for it as well. Did Fandom finish 30 minutes ago?
Yeah, at least. Oh, the chat says September 12th.
Okay.
Is part 2, which again makes sense. And, as I've said before, most of the comic changes aren't going to probably matter because, again, I think we're in a holding pattern until January, until Death Metal ends.
Yeah.
But, so we'll hop right on into this. Now, I watched most of Fandom. You actually woke up ridiculously early to watch it.
Well, I kind of had to because for me, for people in America, it started at 7 o'clock at night or something, some
6
reasonable hour. For me, it started at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning.
You're a real one, Matt. You're an OG. You believe in this. I would not have done it. I will tell you right now. I'd be like, I'll read about it when I wake up. And so I saw most of the event. I did run some errands at one point, and I did get dinner, and I also switched over and watched AEW for the last couple hours because I knew Brody Lee was winning a title, so I wanted to see it.
I switched over, but there was like a hour break between big panels, and I think it was just like some creator, like I think it was like one of those panels Jim Lee did where he like critiqued artists or something.
Right. And there's some ones that we probably won't cover too, like the Neil Gaiman thing. Hey, we love Neil Gaiman. I think it's great that they gave Sandman its due here, but also like, oh, you mean part of that not Vertigo imprint that's probably not going to stick around much longer because apparently AT&T hates imprints?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's what I thought, all uh-oh. And then they had kind of like a Batman and Joker-centric one that didn't really mean much.
Yeah, those horrible like overdubbed clips of the animated shows. Those horrible things.
Which I like. That was to promote that you can buy Batman Beyond and the Adam West Batman show on DVD.
Yeah.
I tweeted about this, and I'm like, really, guys? It's 2020, and we're still taking easy pot shots at Adam West Batman? Come the fuck on.
Oh, yeah. No, without him, we wouldn't have any of this.
Show some respect to the ones who came before, making fun. I will say this right now. I'm laying down the gauntlet. Making fun of Adam West's Batman is hack comedy. It's basic bitchery. It's the nerdy equivalent of, what's the deal with airline food? We know it's silly. It was meant to be silly. Mission accomplished. Also, the man's dead. Come on. Give him a fucking break. It was fun to hear Kevin Conroy and Wilfred Delia back together, though. I mean, Christ, at first I'm like, ooh, are they going to announce, are they doing a new thing with Batman Beyond? No. That's what got me. I was all hyped at first. I'm like, oh, cool, they're doing a Batman Beyond revival. Nah,
just making fun of stuff.
Just making fun of shit. So they opened it up with actually a pretty big panel, and that was the Wonder Woman 1984 panel, which of course was a movie that we probably should have seen soon, or we're about to see soon, were it not for, the horrible pandemic gripping the globe right now.
Yeah, I think we were meant to have it like around this time, August, weren't we?
It was supposed to be a big summer movie. It was supposed to be DC's big summer blockbuster. And man, all these movies had the little bitter aftertaste of it where it's like, yeah, we got this great movie we can't wait to show you. It's so awesome. We got all these great actors and we are going to show it to you. We don't fucking know anymore when the world is fixed.
I do find it funny because they postponed this movie to October. But now on like all the posters they released during this event, it only just says only in cinemas. It doesn't give a date.
Yeah, I was really thinking like, okay, so at the end of this, they're going to say, here's a trailer, and you can watch it in 2 weeks on HBO Max or something. I really assumed that that's what they were going to say, but no, they didn't say it.
Yeah. I mean, they could still say that.
They could. Again, we'll see how November goes, but... For all we know, we're not going to be able to leave our houses for a while. But, yeah, they brought everyone together. They talked the movie. It was cool. They talked the importance of Wonder Woman. They showed a new trailer, which honestly wasn't all that different from the first trailer we saw. And I really liked the first trailer. But we did get to see Kristen Wiig in full cheetah form.
Yeah, she looks great in cheetah form. I'm glad it's not just that terrible outfit she wears where she has like the leopard skin. Yeah, where it's like, this is Cheetah if she was in like an early 2000s superhero film.
Yeah. But yeah, Wonder Woman 84 continues to look cool, and I like this idea that, hey, see this, what is it, like Golden Eagle thing she's got from Kingdom Come? Well, she had to put that on to fight the new form of Cheetah. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So she had to upgrade because her villain upgraded. Yeah,
that's cool. The outfit looks so good.
It is, and very comic accurate too. I was down for all of it.
Yeah, Patty Jenkins knows what she's doing.
Certainly. And then we had a nice little bit from Linda Carter too, who showed up.
Yeah.
That was nice. Again, paying homage to what came before. Notice they're not shitting on the old Wonder Woman show the way they shat on the old Batman show. You know why? Because they only have the old Wonder Woman show to compare it to in live action, because they did nothing with Wonder Woman for decades, so now they have to build that out, even though it was just as cheesy.
Yeah. People forget that it was very much like the Adam West show. Very cheesy.
Absolutely. Wonder Woman, and then she spins around, and we loved it because that was all you had back then. Oh man, can we talk about this too? Because obviously you and I are comic book YouTubers of of nothing.
Notoriety.
Yeah,
Infamous.
Yeah, if I was trying to like tone it down a little bit more, like of some repute, no, that's too much. Of some influence, no, turn it down a little bit more, Joel. we're comic book YouTubers. People look at us sometimes. People pay 2 bits a gander, and obviously as part of this DC Fandome thing, they gave people like us the chance to ask questions first. And I wrote a question, not thinking like, no, it's a fucking stream show. They want videos and shit. And I wrote a question, didn't get read on the thing. I did it for Suicide Squad. But honestly, looking at the video submissions that they did here, I'm glad I didn't. Because coming so close to the firing and the AT&T shit, it's like, oh, this is gross. Oh, you guys are weaponizing the fan joy to cover up for all the bad stuff that's happened. It's like, but look how happy these people are.
Yeah, you could tell they kind of edited it in that way. That's like, don't look at this fire raging over here. Look at this. There's rainbows and cupcakes.
Yeah, we took messages from all over the world, and look how happy they are. And we even let one little boy ask James Gunn a question, even though he like clearly recorded it on a frickin' potato, when they had to just put the Suicide Squad logo over it to cover up his bad video. And I'm like, well, shit, if I knew that, maybe I would have put a little production quality in. But then it's like, no, I'm actually really glad that I will not be a part of this, because a lot of fandom was enjoyable. It was stuff that I would have liked anyway, whether it was part of an event or not. But the rest of it was like, ooh, this is some cold, calculated marketing stunt bullshit that I do not like. And we'll cover that some more because, as I mentioned, even though there's a lot of stuff I liked here, there's some stuff that felt gross and felt very corporately mandated.
Oh, yeah.
But, so yeah, Wonder Woman 84 gets a thumb up. I hope I can see it soon, even though I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll see it sometime, maybe?
You know what it is? I bet they don't want to budge. I bet, they let Mulan come out from Disney, but I bet they're waiting to be like, look, if they put Black Widow out, we'll put this out.
Well, I think they're waiting to see what Tenet does, because Tenet is technically out in my country right now.
Nice.
I can't go see it because fucking corona's everywhere around me. So it'll be interesting, and that's coming out in September in the States as well. So it'll be interesting to see what numbers that does. Hey, and I think they might be going off of that.
Hey, do you love Wonder Woman? Is it good enough to risk your fucking life for? And the life of those around you? That's a hell of a marketing campaign. Man, did you see, again, I don't watch TV except for when I watch AEW because I get commercials on there. And they had one for Unhinged, that new Russell Crowe movie. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, it's the #1 movie in America. I'm like, it's the only fucking new movie out. How are you wearing that as a feather in your cap, you fucking sociopath? And then one of the reviews were like, a movie worth getting out for. I'm like, a movie worth breaking quarantine for? I don't believe it. Not for Russell Crowe Drives Angry.
Yeah, I'll wait for VOD on that.
For real, man. I think it's also out on VOD too, is the funny thing. I think I passed it on some VOD and I'm like, oh god, no. But then again, excellent casting, because I do believe Russell Crowe is a man who would go insane if he got cut off in traffic and try and kill someone.
Oh, absolutely.
Is there a scene where he throws a phone, though, just to really make it organic and true to life?
Probably.
I sure hope so. But yeah, Wonder Woman, pretty cool. I'm excited for the Wonder Woman. Next up, we had some video game news here for Gotham Knights, and boy, isn't it refreshing and kind of fun and kind of different to see the video games given a place of prominence right next to the movies and the TV shows.
Yeah, they're not an afterthought now. Everyone likes these video games as well, so it kind of makes sense.
And I think that Spider-Man game really helped push it over the top, where it's like, guys, these sell a lot. You can make as much, if not more money off these than you do on movies and TV. Everyone likes these and plays these now. Why aren't you, trying to pimp these? And so a lot of interesting stuff in this one. I thought this was connected to the Arkham universe. Apparently it is not. Apparently it's its own brand new thing.
Yeah, no, that's what really surprised me and kind of took me out of it a little bit, because I expected it to be a follow-up to that, like, because what happened in Arkham Knight, like Bruce faked his death, and I figured that that's where the story was going to go, whereas these heroes come and sort of step up to fill that gap.
Right. And I never actually finished Arkham Knight all these years later.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
So I was going to ask you, and I was going to take your word for it. But yeah, you played the sidekicks this time around, which, you know what? Fucking A, it's about time. You can have a Batman game without Batman. It's a full-on Bat family game. Got some co-op going on, and it's an RPG now, because we see there's different costume builds and shit going on, and it does that thing where you hit the enemy and numbers pop up on screen. So yeah, there's gonna be builds and probably loot boxes to go along with it, but still.
Yeah, it's WB, there's gonna be microtransactions.
Oh god, it's gonna be Shadows of Mordor all over again. Get your Bat starter pass, everyone.
Yep. It's funny you mentioned Mordor, that they should definitely make use of that Nemesis system.
Yes, oh my god.
Because that hasn't been used in any other game, and it's such a genius fucking system.
And perfect for an urban crime game. Like, hey, this little thug got away, but now he's a capo of his own crime family, and he's got body armor and a rocket launcher.
Yeah.
That's so good. Or like, you know, you beat up a random thug, and now he's a supervillain. Now he's got a dumb gimmick. Now he's Condiment King. That's fucking cool. So for the game, obviously, we have Dick Grayson Nightwing, Barbara Gordon Batgirl, Damian is Robin, so I guess,
it's Tim Drake, I think.
Oh, I thought it was Damian. No one could tell me for sure if it was one or the other.
I'm sure I saw one of the people involved in the game say it was Tim.
Okay.
I'm sure. I could be wrong, but I saw Tim's name floating around.
I guess it is Tim because he's using a bow staff, and if it was Damien, he'd have a sword, right? Mm-hmm. Which, then again, hey, DLC, everyone, did you not get the Robin or Batgirl you like? Don't worry, here's the brand new pass where we got Cassandra, and we got Stephanie, and we got Damien, and Duke, and everybody.
Oh, yeah, you know they're going to do that. You know that.
Which, you know, I'm like, yeah, if I fucking get the one I want, you know, I'll pay for that one because I'm part of the problem, Matt. I have a problem. Now, we got to see a little of Batgirl gameplay, and we got to see a little bit of Tim gameplay. No Red Hood gameplay, which is a shame because obviously he's the one who uses guns, non-lethal guns, I suppose, and I really, really want to see how the fuck that works. How does he play differently than the others? Because I can only assume they all play differently.
Well, I would actually hope they do play differently.
Yeah.
But yeah, what we saw looked pretty cool. I like Batgirl's whole thing. I like the little bit we saw of Tim, how he's got like a teleportation disc or some weird thing.
They said they were using the Justice League Watchtower to teleport just a little bit, and I'm like, that's kind of clever, and also, yeah, why don't they do that in the comics if they can just Nightcrawler the fuck around? The story of this one, too, this is the long-awaited Court of Owls game that everyone was assuming, which, yeah, for a big co-op game, makes sense for a crazy cult to be the villain. We also saw some stuff with Mr. Freeze. Apparently, too, Scott Snyder actually got called into their offices on this one and actually helped them flesh out some stuff with the owls, so that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here's the thing that got me. They use a creepy nursery rhyme for the owls, but it's not the creepy nursery rhyme that Snyder wrote.
Yeah. Maybe they couldn't get licensing or something on it. I don't know. Maybe DC wouldn't allow it.
That's weird, because like his poem is perfect. They watch you at your perch, you know, behind the lime and stone. The owls. I guess this is, you know, typical other genres. They have to do their own thing.
Yeah.
But this one looks pretty cool. I'm definitely excited for this one. And you know, obviously the big, you know, inciting incident is that Batman dies. So the sidekicks have to take up for him. I said on Twitter, I bet you $100. No, I just faked my death to bring out the Court of Owls. Or, oh no, Talon Bruce is the final boss.
Yeah, it'll be something like that. Yeah, Bruce will be a Talon at the end. He'll be the one that we saw in the trailer, you know, that jumped at the screen.
Absolutely.
You know, they'll fight him and they'll like break his mask and it'll be Bruce, and that'll be where the game ends.
Or they'll do some crazy shit where it's like, why does the leader of the Court of Owls look like Bruce? I'm not Bruce. I'm Lincoln March, his long-lost brother.
That'd be pretty cool.
if they did that, then the games would officially be doing more with Lincoln March than the comics are.
Yeah. Oh no, but the thing is, like, when as soon as he reveals himself, he gets collected by a truck and killed.
Oh man. Also, too, the streets actually looked like it had people on it this time, like actual innocent people that you can't run over, and cops fighting with criminals. How much of that do you think is going to be out in the final version?
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't really trust these trailers.
Big crowds are the first thing that get cut.
Yeah, I don't know, because that was the one thing that I really hated about the Arkham games. That you get in this big city, and there's like no one on the streets except for a couple of thugs.
They always have to concoct a reason for why Gotham City is empty, which is a shame, because it's like, no, I want to feel like I am in Gotham City with people.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing for reals. But yeah, I mean, Gotham Knights looks pretty slick, and it's a cool co-op game, which apparently is just the hot flavor right now between Avengers and this and another thing we're going to be talking about.
Oh yeah, they're all getting into that fucking co-op 4-player game, loot box RPG, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, in that headspace, which, I mean, hey, you and I will have more content to do. All the more reason people need to donate to the show, and why I need to get an Elgato capture card very soon. That's why. All right, so moving on from there, we had the Multiverse 101, and this is one of those panels that made me raise a fucking eyebrow and be like, who is this for? If you are watching DC Fandome, then you should know already what the multiverse is, and you don't need someone to explain it to you. And basically, the bulk of this is just to say, hey, did you know the CW TV show Flash is in the same continuity now as the movies? Yeah, because I watched Crisis, motherfucker.
Yeah, this felt like it wasn't something that was needed, but it felt like, they saw too many people, like too many normies getting confused. So like, okay, we'll put a panel out where it's who is Jim Lee, Greg Berlanti, and Walter Hamada just confirming everything we already knew.
Where it's like, hey, we kind of fucked up making one solid film universe like Marvel, so now everything we do is in continuity, which honestly makes sense for them, because, multiple Earths, anything can happen in the DC universe.
And yeah, well, and that's how the comics are. Everything is continuity.
And like, look, if you like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, maybe we'll put him in something. And hey, if you really like Grant Gustin, maybe we'll get rid of Ezra Miller and maybe we'll put him in his place, because why not?
Ezra the Joker Miller.
No, that's... Oh, we'll get to that when we get to it, how they're riding or dying with Ezra fucking Miller one way or another. But, yeah, so it's the multiverse. Also, too, another rumor that I guess kind of got substantiated now because of this and because of other stuff. Affleck is coming back for at least one more Batman movie. Now,
well, not a Batman movie, a Flash movie.
Right.
But it's technically a Batman movie because there's 2 fucking Batman in it.
There you go. So he's coming back for Flashpoint, which basically means, okay, so you talked Affleck into going out on his own terms now instead of being the Batman who flamed out with rehab and, bad movies and everything. He at least gets to say goodbye on his own terms. And if he's being there, with the fact that they're already going ahead with a new Robert Pattinson thing, I guess we can make it official now that probably Keaton is going to be in here too, and we're going to see multiple generations of Batman in whatever Flashpoint movie they're ultimately going to be doing.
Yeah, it seems to be building to that. And again going back to the Crisis of Infinite Earths CW stuff and how that's now officially canon.
Yeah.
Officially canon to the Flash film with how Flash gets his name and everything. That also means that the movies aren't actually the Prime universe. Because as we saw in Crisis, the Earth Prime is the CW, the Supergirl, Superman, that universe.
Oops. Oh well. Could be worse, I guess. And also too, it's like, oh, so you're gonna have multiple Batman in your Flash movie. Won't they end up stealing focus from the Flash? I guess you don't care.
Of course. That's the thing with DC. If you're not sure about a film, you just throw Batman in it, and it makes 400 million in the opening weekend.
The entire Flash panel for the movie, again, felt very much like corporately mandated revisionist history. Oh, we loved working on this film, and oh, we love working with Ezra, and oh, we loved the script when we first saw it. Which script? You've gone through several, plus many rewrites and multiple directors. Which one are you talking about? You don't even know which one you're talking about. You're just saying what they fucking told you to say.
Yeah, again, that whole panel just felt like... They never even talked to they wouldn't in a fandom event, but they never talked about the whole thing of Ezra fucking choking a woman on video.
We just hope you're stupid and you forgot.
But they did their best in this panel to like show that he's exactly like Barry Allen. Look how fun this is. How do you do, fellow kids?
Like, literally, this was a big joy offensive for Ezra Miller, where it's like, Ezra's so great. Ezra's just like Barry. Don't you love Ezra? Notice I'm saying him, Ezra, here. Someone actually told me on Twitter, apparently he's gender non-binary. And in fact, we kind of saw that later when he did, his bit for the Snyder Cut. So he didn't even make his own costume anymore in this universe. Excellent.
No, and again, I have to see it actually, because we only saw it in concept art, so I'll have to see it in like a physical form. But like from what we've seen in concept art, it's like, why is it all in like shadow and dark, and like why is there like always lines or like light on it? Like, just make a fucking red fucking spandex costume. It's not that hard.
How hard is that? Also, literally getting horrible flashbacks to Green Lantern, where it's like, why is it a muscle suit? Why does it have lights all over it?
Yeah, like how that suit was meant to be organic.
Yeah, you've overthought it once again. I mean, I guess I'm glad it's not an armored monstrosity anymore. I guess I'm glad he doesn't look like a Power Ranger. And yeah, as the chat says, so they're copying MCU and Spider-Man. And hey, at least Spider-Man built his own suit by the time that second movie came around. This is the Flash's second appearance, and he had built a suit before, and now he's taking one from Batman.
And as well, this is his first film, and in his first film, he's getting a suit built by Batman.
Yeah, at least Spider-Man had like 2 other film franchises before this. It's a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could still be good, but honestly, it feels like they're putting too much on this film. Like, it can't be a Flash solo project because we need to say goodbye to all these Batman and do all this Batman-centric stuff, and probably, I can only assume, within, like, the 2-hour runtime in this, explain the DC multiverse and how maybe we can have multiple characters stop in as we see fit.
Yep, they have to also explain the multiverse, the Speed Force to people who don't know what the Speed Force is, and they tease that as well.
Oh, goody.
Yep, so they've got to explain that. I can't wait to see how they explain that, considering the TV show did such a good job of explaining it.
As Cool Guy in the chat says, why is Flashpoint the first Flash movie? Why was Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman Batman v Superman? Why does DC always seem to do this?
Everything is ass backwards with them.
Yeah, for real. Goddamn. Don't worry, if this one crashes and burns, maybe we will just get Grant Gust, and they're just like, fuck it, he's the movie Flash now, why not?
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
I love
just up that whole cast to like movie level, and just watch the magic.
No one would care, and if you wrote it right, it would be fine. Just don't lean too heavy on what happened to the show. Do the anime bullshit where it's like, yeah, it's the movie version of the anime. All the stuff that happened in the show happened. We're just not going to refer to because what's happening in the movie is more important.
Or what you do is you just do it's the multiverse. It's Grant Gustin as the Flash, but it's not the TV Flash. It's like a different Flash, and it's the same people and everything. It's just a different Earth.
Just slightly off that Rick and Morty curve is what it is. Yeah, that's all right. I'm fine with that. That's cool. Man, again, I want to be excited for the Flash movie. I really do, but everything they tell me about it just makes it sound fucking tedious.
I know, it just... Why? How many directors has it been through? How many directors and how many writers? It's been through like 5 or 6, hasn't it?
Like 3 or 4 directors that I know of, and probably more writers that I can count. Shit, Miller and Morrison were writing a script at one point. How bad did production get that the star of the movie is writing it?
Also, wasn't there something as because Ezra Miller hired Morrison to write the script, and wasn't there something where it's like if his script didn't get picked, he would just leave?
Something like that, yeah.
So his script didn't get picked, so why didn't he leave? Did they offer him more money, or is it one of those things where it's like, we're in too deep now, we can't, it's ride or die?
I'm glad you said that, Matt. I don't think he left because he can't go nowhere else at the moment. What with the whole choking fiasco, and a lot of people. One guy was arguing with me on Twitter. It's like, well, surely they must have worked it out, because if they did, they wouldn't have him at Fandome. And I'm like, dude, do you know how much time, money, directors, and resources they've already dumped into this project? They need to come out with something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lots of bad people in Hollywood still get to keep their jobs. Friggin' Max Landis is a giant sleaze, and he runs a script doctoring company now. Marky Mark committed a hate crime in his youth and still gets to be in movies.
Yeah.
Friggin', what is it? Woody Allen. Just the whole career of Woody Allen.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, just the whole career of these guys.
There was that thing with Roman Polanski where it's like a couple of years ago he presented a movie at, I think it was like Cannes or something, and everyone stood up and clapped, and I'm like, you're clapping a fucking sex offender, an underage sex offender, a pedophile.
Yeah, man, I wish I lived in the world of this guy where there was justice and everything was free and, balanced, but unfortunately it isn't. And because we're talking about Flash, a lot of people brought up too, where they're like, wait, so let me get this straight. Elongated Man makes some horrible comments 8-10 years ago, and they fire him on the spot. We have video evidence of Ezra Miller choke-slamming a woman like Kane, but he still gets to be in the movies.
Again, yeah, it's a strange double standard.
And again,
strange.
And that's why everyone started kissing his ass in this, to make it try and go away. And you could tell Miller had been hiding out for a bit with his friggin' Alan Moore beard and caveman hair. I'm like, oh, you've just been hiding out waiting for this to end, huh?
Yeah, also, you can tell as well because they didn't film the people together. No. So like Ezra would record all of his lines, and then the other two would record their lines over his. Yeah. Sort of thing. Yeah. So no one was in like the same Zoom call at the same time.
No, of course not. Someone in the chat brought up Amber Heard. Yeah, they've yet to say anything about Amber Heard either, and that shit with her and Johnny Depp is getting real bad the more stuff that comes out about that.
Yep.
We're DC. We ride or die out here. We always riding or dying. I'm glad you mentioned the actual production quality of this. Yeah, the editing was not good, and I do not blame them as someone who has also had to edit many Zoom calls and Skype calls together myself. It will never look 100% good, but you're a big, rich company and probably should have put more in this than you did. I'm
surprised. What company was it? I think it might have been for that Tiger King special.
Yes, yeah.
When they shot, because they shot that as well, like this during COVID and everything.
Yeah,
but what they did with that is apparently they sent all the people that were they had lined up for interviews, all the big main people, they sent them iPhones to record on.
There you go.
So it would be complete, really good quality and whatnot, and then they'd send the iPhones in and they'd take the footage off of them.
That's how you got to do it. So everything matches in video quality and sound, because no one is going to have the same audio and visual setup. Again, You know this. I know this from working online. You would think this big company would know this.
You would think so. But this is the same company that gave a guy $20 million to half finish a film and then make him shoot it in fucking 4:6.
Oh, we'll get there. Also, too, all the other hosts, and I don't mean to slag these people off because clearly they're just fans like us and probably also have YouTube channels and work for websites, and I'll probably run into them again. You can tell they're not professional hosts, and only Aisha Tyler was the only professional host they got to bookend the actual event itself. Everyone else was kind of like, oh, you could only do this in one take, huh? And that was the best one?
Yeah, the one take, or they had to rush to do it because it was such a last minute thing or something. Yeah.
I like that they made it international. I like that they had a lot of people in a lot of different countries. That was a cool idea. But again, you did it a little under the gun, which As someone says, yeah, we know this from Thunderdome. Absolutely, JT Wizzy. People who have seen it will know what Thunderdome was about.
See, why didn't they have like all these people fighting in that dome, in the DC Fandome?
Oh, next year, man, if this becomes a thing. Gotta fight it out in the DC Fandome. But yeah, that was rough. And also, too, I don't know who edited this, but I bet you whoever edited this did it for exposure and didn't actually get paid for this.
Was that why like every panel ended like fucking abruptly and just like transitioned, or not even a transition, it was just like a hard cut to like a own Aquaman on DVD?
This was some intern being like, hey, can you go home and edit this over the weekend? Thanks. No, you won't get a bonus for this.
Or and they will probably let go in that AT&T fucking thing.
Or again, they reached out to fans like us and they're like, hey, you have a YouTube channel. You can edit stuff. Would you like to edit this event for us? Cool.
I mean, I wouldn't have minded doing that.
Again, where it's like, do I get my name in the credits? I think they did actually have credits at the end, so there you go.
I think they did. I think they had, because they put all the music they had out throughout the thing up, all the songs they had.
Yeah. Oh, D. Cappy says there that actually a bunch of the hosts and presenters were from Rooster Teeth and Red versus Blue. Really, I did not know that.
Yes, Rooster Teeth. They rent out to literally everyone.
Well, and also too, doesn't Warner Brothers own Rooster Teeth now?
Yeah. Yep.
There, that makes sense. So everyone under their again. Within their own wheelhouse and within their own, kind of subsidiaries. Yeah, that all adds up.
Yeah.
That all adds up together. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I was a PlayStation guy, so I never played Halo, so I never got into Red versus Blue, even though I know, Red versus Blue became fucking huge and moved on from being, a comedy to a serious drama and, a bunch of other shit, and the editing got amazing by the end.
It did, yeah. I haven't seen a lot of it, but the stuff I've seen, it looks pretty damn good.
Same, where I'm just like, wait, this started as just some weird machinima shit, and it became this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And now they have their own shows and everything on there on Rooster Teeth that they've started, their own original shit.
Mm-hmm. I think they're the last original people from machinima to come over to Rooster Teeth and stuff.
That's pretty dope, man. I like that. It's become The Simpsons, but yes, RPB is still around. Wow. Yeah, I guess it is The Simpsons of online shit, because it's been around forever.
13 seasons, apparently.
Oh, hot damn. Well, that's good. Well, maybe, again, during quarantine, if I get hard up on viewing, maybe I'll finally sit down and give it a look. All right, so after the Flash stuff, we move on to The Suicide Squad, which was definitely maybe my thing that I wanted to see the most, to see James Gunn get to talk about this.
And boy, was it good.
Man, it was everything I wanted it to be, and also it's nothing like the original Suicide Squad movie.
And it's all the better for it.
You said it perfectly, Matt, there, where it's I like that no one looks like a Hot Topic reject anymore, and I'm like, yeah, they all grew up and stopped shopping at Hot Topic.
Yeah, they're not coke addicts anymore.
No, they actually look like how they're supposed to be from the comics, and James Gunn unabashedly saying, I love the comics, and I love the John Ostrander run, and I brought John Ostrander to set and asked him what he thought.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good.
Geez, Warner Brothers, AT&T, it's like comics are important or something. It's like it's the lifeblood of these creative endeavors or something.
Yeah. Again, just to get back off top, the messages here were really weird because we've seen that AT&T aren't fucking interested in comics or anything like that. Yet 90% of the panels were just people like Jim Lee or James Gunn or something gushing over comics and how awesome they are.
It's sending a weird message, isn't it? There's this weird double standard going on.
Yeah, but then you'd have fucking people like fucking Zack Snyder saying these aren't fucking Saturday morning kids cartoons. This is for grown-ups.
Or my absolute favorite, Todd Phillips. I didn't set out to make a comic book movie. Well, you didn't, bro. So yeah, trust me, I knew you didn't need to tell. I cannot believe that they put that in the fucking package. I didn't set out to make a comic book movie. Comics are dumb, says Todd Phillips. Man. So yeah, the Suicide Squad is awesome. I love the design work. Harley looks better than she ever has before.
Oh my god, her best costume, and it only took 3 films.
This might be the best Harley movie. Rick Flag is wearing his yellow shirt. Goddamn,
He looks like a character.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking character. We know who everyone is playing now. Idris Elba, who apparently we were all wrong until this last moment. He's playing a character called Bloodsport.
Yeah, an old Superman villain.
Yes, there's actually been quite a few blood sports, and one of them was a white supremacist, which I thought was funny. He even wore an Iron Cross and everything.
Yeah, as I said to you on Twitter, it'd be funny if he was that version of Bloodsport, but it was like that Dave Chappelle skit where he's the blind white supremacist and doesn't realize he's black.
He doesn't know. Or, again, because he wears a face-covering mask, all the other villains are like, yeah, you're that racist guy, aren't you? Yeah, you're that racist guy. Bloodsport. No, I'm Bloodsport 3. You're thinking of Bloodsport 1. That would be funny. John Cena as Peacemaker, which, oh my god, I never thought they would actually do a screen-accurate version of the Peacemaker costume.
When you look at Peacemaker, you think, oh, if they do him, they're never going to do that fucking helmet he wears, that fucking weird golden, but they fucking did it, and it looks fucking awesome.
Man, I think John Cena might actually be the next Rock and wrestler turned actor, because he has this weird, enjoyable charisma, and where he's like, Peacemaker, he's Captain America if he was a douchebag.
Yeah, he's got a real likability about him, and he's funny as well.
Yes, he is. He has a great sense of humor. King Shark is in the movie, but we don't actually know who's playing him, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, we only got to see the guy who's body doubling him on set, as doing the motion capture and everything.
A lot of people are theorizing that Taika Waititi might actually slide into this one.
I don't think it's him. I think because I think we heard that Starro is going to be the villain of the and I think that's going to be Taika Waititi.
Oh, that'll be fun too. Aye, look at me. I'm Starro, the Conqueror. Yeah. Just give him a weird ass voice. I do love that they keep leaning more and more into funny King Shark. Like Ron Funch's performance is so all encompassing now. King Shark is just funny in everything.
Yeah, well, you either have to do really kind of funny stuff with him, or really serious, edgy, he's a fucking shark, so he's gonna murder you stuff.
The other thing that really stuck out to me, and we really see it from the poster, oh, this is a war movie now. Cool.
Yeah. The stuff we saw in that behind-the-scenes stuff showed big battle scenes and stuff. And yeah, the poster very much reminiscent of old 1950s Dirty Dozen, the Green Berets, Bridge Too Far, stuff like that.
We gotta talk about this too. Michael Rooker is Savant. Holy shit!
And he looks great.
So Savant, for those of you who don't know, was the first pretty boy villain for the Birds of Prey back in the day. He's a Gail Simone invention, and one of the few prominently gay supervillains too. I wonder if that will come up in the movie at all.
From the way the panel went, I have a feeling that he's either going to be the first to die, or he's going to die like a horrible death. Oh yeah, my money is on him and Nathan Fillion and basically all of Gunn's friends dying first. I have a feeling Nathan Fillion as Arm Fall Off Boy is gonna survive.
It's got to be him or Polka Dot Man, and that's got to be the joke that one of the lame ones made it to the very end.
Yeah.
That's totally got to be the joke in there. Pete Davidson, too, as Blackguard, doing his best, I'm a cool guy with guns. I imagine he, too, could potentially die early on. I got so many guns. I'm so fucking cool. Dad, oh, that's okay. We got Bloodsport. We already got a gun guy.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably going to be the joke. We can't have 2 gun guys on the team.
Yeah, really. Y'all got to have your own thing. Man, I was actually excited to see Jai Courtney again, because I'm like, yeah, you're a sleazy Australian playing a sleazy Australian. Good job.
I went back because again I said because when I thought of these all don't look like coke addicts, I remembered the first picture of him we saw on as Captain Boomerang, and how he had that strung out look that he'd been on ketamine for the past 7 days or something, and then you look at him here and he's a completely different character.
I know, it's amazing what a change in vision does to the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am so on board for the Suicide Squad. Again, I hope the world is fixed by August of next year, so we can go out of our houses and see it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to. I actually bought a shirt with the logo of it on it from the DC Fandome store.
Cool. I rarely do that, but right on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good shit, man. I'm more like Suicide Squad, please.
Yeah, it looks damn good.
And the cast really likes each other.
Yeah, that's another thing. They all seem to have had fun making this film.
And they played a fun little game there on the panel, and they busted each other's balls, and it was all in love and everything, and it was cool. Unlike in some of these other ones where you could really tell it felt like the cast were really, walking around on eggshells.
Yeah, yep.
Gunn just seems like a nice, approachable fella, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
What else do we got going on there? Okay, so from there, we had the secret panel, which was really funny to me, where it's like, oh yeah, the secret panel. What's the big secret panel gonna be? And it turned out to be Milestone Comics, which on one hand, I'm like, oh, fucking dope, yeah, Milestone. But on the other hand, I'm like, why did you make the comic announcement with all the black people the secret one? Should you not, like, really be trying to sell
prop that
this
up one? And like, hype it up?
And promote it, especially, too, just after you got done, like, a 5-year-long, ugly legal battle with the Dwayne McDuffie estate? Don't you think you would want to sell this one harder?
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking weird. That's like, oh yeah, this is what the secret one is going to be. And also, this is yet another example of corporately mandated revisionist history, because you get Reginald Hudlin on there, where I'm like, God damn it, I thought you were gone, Hudlin. Fuck. With him being like, oh, we loved Dwayne McDuffie, we loved what he built, and we loved Static. Then why did you try and rob his widow and his mother and the executor of his estate, guys? Why did you try and go ahead without this? Why were you in a protracted 5-year-long legal battle? Don't change the fucking game now and say that you loved him. And they don't even mention the legal battle or anything around it. There's a lot of very, like, strategic silence from fandom.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like everything was pre-recorded and for a reason, and it's this reason. Because can you imagine the chat when this happened? It would be people who love the stuff, but then there'd be all those people who'd be like, remember when you tried to steal all the money from his widow?
Yeah, you liars. And then everyone, would have been calling Reginald Hudlin Wedgie Hudlin, which was his character on the Boondocks, which was Aaron Magruder flipping him off. Wedgie Hudlin, Wedgie Hudlin. It was what they'd be calling him. But there wasn't really a lot of new stuff here. Basically, hey, we're making the comics we promised you like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So get ready for that. You're getting your Milestone characters back. And also, we're maybe doing movies, but it's Hudlin who said that, and Hudlin's a massive fucking liar, and all of his projects fall through, so don't get too married to that concept if he's the one spearheading it.
Yeah, again, it also makes me wonder, how long are the comics going to last? Is this going to be like one of those things where it's like, they put out a bunch of books, and then like after like maybe a year of doing them, they like quietly like shutter them, and then be like, well, fans can't complain, we gave it to them
after all those years. Especially too, when again apparently AT&T hates imprints.
Mm-hmm.
Is Milestone just going to be a new imprint now of DC? It's certainly not going to be a company unto itself like it was back in the day.
No.
Again, this is a subsidiary of a greatly weakened now DC Comics.
Yeah.
If nothing else, though, if there was one true silver lining to all of this, they said, look, all the old books that have fallen out of print, all the ones that you couldn't find now, short of pirating or trading or whatever, you can get them now. We're going to make them available where you can see them.
That's good. That's really good.
That is good. That, like, even just from, like, a this belongs in a museum historical, reclamation standpoint, that's good. These things should exist somewhere in a form where people can find them.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I'm good on that. Also, hey, thank you, Wilson Dewson, for following. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
But beyond that, there wasn't much here to talk about. It was cool that they got Phil LaMarr in there, because Phil LaMarr, hey, he's voiced every one of your favorite black heroes ever.
Yeah, so he has to be on this panel.
Also, go buy Samurai Jack that came out this week, too. He's also in that. But yeah, that was definitely fun. But yeah, not much to talk about here. This was mostly just them patting themselves on the back and not talking about the lawsuit. And I mean, I guess it got worked out. I guess McDuffie's widow, the executor of his estate, and his mother are happy now. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It just felt kind of dirty for them to congratulate themselves and say they were the good guys, which they were doing before in that Kirkman documentary about Milestone, being like, oh, we were at McDuffie's funeral, and that's how we knew then that we had to bring Milestone back better than ever. I'm like, did that even fucking happen?
Probably not.
Or are you just inventing a story wherein you guys are the good guys? And, this one made me sad, too, because I'm like, so many people probably didn't even know the lawsuit happened.
No, absolutely not.
I felt like I was yelling into the void on that one on Twitter. I'm like, does no one remember that this happened? Does no one remember that these guys are literally picking over his bones? Yes, I know they were there with him too, and McDuffie didn't do it all on his own, but, because he's dead, he's this extra big hero now, and because he did more than all of those other guys put together, because he worked on Justice League and a bunch of other cartoons and everything. Just saying. It reminds me very much of that Queen movie where the living members of Queen still had control over it. And they're like, yeah, Freddie Mercury, he was this amazing genius who died before his time, but he was also an asshole who was hard to work with, and we did so much work, and here's why. It's like, geez, guys, it's like you're a little bitter for being, within the shadow of a legend. I get it. I might have been the same. I don't know. But yeah, there's Milestone for you. Now Matt didn't put it on here, but it's one we definitely got to talk about, if only for a minute, just so we talked about it and people say, oh, why didn't you talk about it? The Snyder Cut had its own panel at this point, and I must say, Matt, it was bold and daring of DC and Warner Brothers to broadcast a stream wherein one man just masturbated himself for 20 minutes.
Oh, I kind of tuned in and out of that stream just because I knew what it was going to be, but it was a lot worse than what I thought it was going to be, in that it was so fucking childish.
Man, if the dude in question jerked himself off much harder, he would have started a fire, and eventually his arm got tired and he invited other people to come in and jerk him off, for him, which literally, it was set up in the weirdest fucking way, where it's like, come and kiss my ring now, everyone, come and kiss my ring and tell me I'm a good boy.
Yeah, it was such a strange panel.
Very. And then it's like, okay, so now let's talk about some of the architects of the Snyder Cut movement. I mean, members of my cult. I mean, fans like you and me. Like, there was one Chinese woman on there who, I kid you not, at one point during the Snyder Cut panel was like, I love you, I want to marry you. He's already married, lady. That's fucking weird. And I will fight for you. Again, not a cult at all. And you actually knew more about this lady than I did, Matt. Apparently, she's already quite infamous.
Oh yeah, she's very, very infamous in the Snyder cult sort of scene and everything. And I know for a fact that she is a huge fucking bully on social media. She has so many fucking bot accounts and stuff that just flood people who say anything bad about Daddy Zach.
Mm-hmm. So literally, he had a whole segment just to reward people's bad behavior, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is what fucking blew me away on that one, where I'm like, wow. And again, he also found time to argue with people on Trailer who had seen the actual Snyder Cut trailer that had leaked out online, and a bunch of people thought that it was a fan edit, because it's like, oh, wow, this is a really bad use of a cover of a Leonard Cohen song. Who would do this? And man, a lot of this just looks like deleted scenes that we've already seen. But no, turned out that was actually the trailer.
Yeah, full of really bad CGI and, as you said, deleted scenes we have already seen.
Wow. How
I could have told you this, 2 years ago. That's all that his cut would ever be.
How about that dark side though, Matt? He looks like he has a concave chest.
Oh, he's not Darkseid, he's Euaxis. That's all everyone fucking said. Just call him Darkseid. It's just fucking easier.
God damn.
It's just people going off about that. I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Ray Fisher was also there too, and very happy because again, who crusaded harder than just about anyone else in the actual cast, mainly because he didn't have sweet fuck all else to do, it seemed like.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had much in the way of a career since.
And I'm sure he is maybe just a little bit bitter that this movie was supposed to launch him, as Snyder even said, yes, Cyborg was the heart of the movie.
And not only that the Flash movie wrote him out.
Yaha. Interesting. And I mean, I know we didn't talk about it on the show proper, but, you know, Fisher, who is embroiled in a bit of a feud right now with Joss Whedon, to where I'm like, hey, Joss Whedon has done a lot wrong in the past, but, you know, can I say that you're both acting like assholes right now?
And can I also say that, like, looking at, like, all the stuff that he posts, all it seems to boil down to is he talked to this really very stressed individual who had to reshoot a whole film in mere weeks. Mm-hmm. That person, understandably, who was stressed, snapped at him, and he didn't like that. And that's really all it seems to boil down to.
Mm. Which, again, there's plenty of stories about Whedon being a much bigger asshole than that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Ask the cast of Buffy, man. This sounds like small potatoes in comparison.
Ask his fucking ex-wife.
Ask his fucking ex-wife, for real. I mean, look, if we're gonna say Joss Whedon is a bad man, say it for shit he actually deserves to be called a bad man for, not for, you know, getting a movie in on time and under budget when they needed him to.
Yeah, and also, apparently that was all because Fisher didn't want to say booyah.
Right, which, you know, the thing that fans love, because we can't give them that.
No, this is a movie for adults, Joel.
For adults. For grown-ups. I love he said that on Twitter. I'm like, dude, it's the fucking Super Friends, man. They're on lunchboxes and nightlights, you fucking tit.
I fucking love everyone's making fun of him for that, posting like all the toys from the Justice League and Lego, and it's like, for adults. It's for adults, everyone.
You know, Matt, it's a funny thing. When I stomp and cry and piss and moan and say something is adult and grown up, suddenly I sound really childish, don't I? And like I'm trying to project a more refined adult nature than I actually have. I don't know, man. It's like, I'm sorry, Snyder, because it feels like you probably got bullied a lot as a child for liking these things, and now you're projecting like a motherfucker. Just saying, it's fucking weird. But also, I guess you found a lot of other like-minded people who are projecting like motherfuckers and making this about everything but the actual movie that's on screen. So, you know, there's your Snyder Cut talk, everyone. Don't say we didn't talk about it. All right. After that, we had the Flash TV panel. Okay, so I checked out for dinner around this point, so you're going to have to take this, Matt.
Yeah, well, it was just like your kind of boilerplate panel with the stars talking about it. They did show a trailer, though, for Season 7, which
cool.
is what I imagine would have... Like, the stuff they showed was, I imagine, what was going to be the finale of Season 6.
Yes.
It was all just, like, sort of similar stuff with the Mirror Master woman going into the real world and kind of taking everything over. Flash having merely hours left of Speed Force. Got to make the Speed Force... remake an artificial Speed Force and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I forgot.
It looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's like, oh, this doesn't feel like a new season. This is just like the last episode of Season 6.
Yeah, because this, like so many other shows this year, ended kind of abruptly because of the virus. I will say, I really did like that last season. I thought it was actually some of the best Flash had been in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely different. I enjoyed that it wasn't a speedster villain.
Yes, they cracked the code, gave Candace Patton something to do. I liked the whole doppelganger storyline where it's like, ooh, they could be anyone, they could be anything. I liked they remembered that the police guy who was their friend had a husband that they don't talk about.
Yeah, Detective Singh, yep.
That Detective Singh had a husband. Like, oh, fuck, I guess we should tell him about this. Yeah, you should. That poor man is probably worried.
This trailer sort of continues all of that, and yeah, it's just the last episode of Season 6, I guess, would just be the first episode of Season 7.
Yeah, kicking it off with a bang, then. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid.
I did find it weird that this got a panel here, but like the other CW shows didn't.
I mean, this is probably the one they A, have the most faith in, and B, it has the most connectivity now to everything else.
That's true.
Like, yeah, aren't you launching a new Batwoman? Shouldn't you be talking about that? Oh, we don't fucking know what we're doing. Hey, weren't you doing a follow-up to Arrow where it was going to be, like, all these other characters? Oh, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, well, that's one show that they don't even know is even greenlit yet.
Yeah, that's true. That's
And I really don't think it should be, because it's not full of interesting characters. Like, it's not, it's like, I don't want to follow those characters anymore, because they were the worst part of season 8, going back into like the future. They were terrible characters.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping Flash can come back strong. And also, too, in that episode, are they going to have to explain what happened to Elongated Man? Oh, no, he died in a fire in between episodes. Oh, no.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to do some, like, fucking plot where it's like his face changes and he can't change it back, but he can still morph into other people, and he just can't ever morph into that actor.
Yeah, that would be interesting, because they never said they're writing Elongated Man off. I thought it would be interesting. Maybe actually take Identity Crisis, but switch it now to where he's horribly murdered, and what is it? It's Sue who has to solve his murder, and maybe she gets his powers and becomes the elongated woman.
I could see them doing that as well.
But yeah, you're right. He's a shape changer. We can just fucking recast him. It's written right in. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still the man, you know. I'm still him. I'm still I'm still Doug. No, Eel. No, whatever. Whatever. Hey, there you go. Just have Eel O'Brien come in.
Yeah, just don't change anything.
Oh no, Crisis Energy changed everything. Ralph Dibny became Eel O'Brien.
They can do that for that show, but not for Batwoman.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry, guys. I'm still lots of fun. You'll learn to love me. Oh, Ralph died on the way back to his home planet. That's a shame. All right, after that was the Black Adam panel, and again, I was still eating at this time, but I didn't see anything for a new trailer or anything else, so I'm guessing nothing fucking important happened.
I mean, something important did happen. We got, like, quite a fucking fair bit from it. There is actually a trailer for it.
Oh, shit, why didn't I see it?
Yeah, it's like an animated trailer that they cut together with the concept art.
Oh.
Kind of explaining Black Adam's story and everything, him getting like the powers, and he gets locked away and then he comes back, and it's confirmed the JSA are going to appear in this. Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher, I think, were the members.
That's actually really cool, because yeah, Black Adam would be old, so it would make sense that he ran into the JSA at some point.
Yeah. So, and they're gonna fight him maybe, but he might also be joining them, because as The Rock was quick to say, the Black Adam is he understands Black Adam very well. He understands that Black Adam sees himself as an anti-hero and doing what must be done for Kahndaq and for his people and everything, so he doesn't see himself as a villain. So they got all that sort of stuff. There was a hint that maybe he might be fighting Superman.
Yeah, I know they kind of teased that before, those two fighting. But what's Superman?
Yeah. Which one? I don't know. Crisis Energy comes in and changes Henry Cavill into someone else.
John Hamm.
Hey, that'd be pretty damn awesome.
I actually have it.
Earth 2 JSA Superman.
I actually have it on very good authority, actually, from Justin Halpern, the guy who did Harley Quinn. They actually wanted John Hamm to be their Batman, and Warner Brothers said no, which means they wanted him for something else. So, like, quite possibly. Quite fucking possible.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm totally fucking down with that. John Hamm comes out with, the S-curl and everything. Hey, everybody, it's me.
That'd be cool. But yeah, no, it was really cool. We got a look at Black Adam as well, or like a concept look. And he looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like is that he doesn't have the hair. He's like just The Rock bald. Mainly because I don't think The Rock can grow hair.
No, not anymore. The Rock ain't growing out his hair. Tell you what, go back and look at him when he first premiered in wrestling as Rocky Maivia. His head looked like a fucking pineapple. I see why he cut his hair and never looked back.
But he does have the pointy ears.
Yes, that's cool.
And as well, I didn't see anyone else pick up on this. I'm sure someone did, but I didn't see anyone. In one of the concept art, he's carrying the fucking Eclipso stone.
Ooh, nice.
So what does that mean for like Super Stargirl? Can they still use him, or like, yeah?
Multiverse, Matt. It's all multiverse.
That's true.
It's all connected. Get your cork boards out, because it's all connected. Pepe Sylvia is joining the JSA because it's all connected. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to fucking check that out then. Also, didn't they finally announce too that Shazam 2 has a title now? It's God's Fury.
Yeah, Fury of the Gods.
But what god, says David F. Sandberg? We don't know.
Yeah, yes.
Do we mean the Greek gods? It would make a lot of sense because, strength of Hercules, speed of Apollo, etc., etc. But then again, they could also kind of, screw you and be like, hey, guess what? We were actually talking about the new gods.
Yeah. They could also just mean Sinbad,
Yeah, Sinbad the Sailor Man.
Because Sinbad is in this for some reason.
I don't know who he's... Sinbad is Billy Batson's father. Look, son.
He's CC.
Look, I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry I couldn't get you that Turbo Man, and I went to jail. Sinbad, wrong movie, whatever.
Yeah, I went to jail for posting bombs and whatnot.
Well, that's interesting. Who's Sinbad? Oh, Sinbad could be Taki Tawny. He could be the tiger.
I saw someone say that he could be that, and I'd like that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
He's got a
because I think on the poster we didn't get a good look at the poster because they only showed it in the live stream on horrible resolution.
Yeah.
There is, I think, animals on the poster. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
And until they release that poster officially, I won't know.
I'm so glad we're getting a Shazam 2. Shazam 1 was horribly underrated. Not enough people saw it.
No, I'm glad it's getting a second, and I'm glad that it's like the same director and everything continuing over.
Yeah. Absolutely. New Christmas classic. Will this one take place at Christmas too? I wonder.
Or it should like change up like go to Easter or something.
Oh yeah, everyone's got to be someday. It's Halloween this time. Each movie's a different holiday. President's Day. A lot of good places you could go with it. Arbor Day. I don't even know what Arbor Day's about.
Labor Day, they can't wear white.
Oh no. It's the true source of their power. But yeah, so that's good shit. Then we had Aquaman. You said this one was nothing, and again, I didn't see this one either. It
was literally just James Wan and Patrick Wilson just broing out for like 10 minutes. And then it ended right. like abruptly, like it seemed like they had more to say, but then that intern editor just fucking cut it. So, they just said that King Orm's going to be in second Aquaman. That's about it.
No, you would think so. Again, it's like they're probably not writing it. They probably can't film it right now.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot they can't do.
Yeah.
But, I enjoyed Aquaman enough, so I'm down for it. Another thing I don't think actually made it on the list, but it's something I was sure to watch. Harley Quinn had a funny little segment there where she was answering fan questions and wasn't animated great, but they even make a joke about that.
Yeah, I was watching. I'm like, this isn't like this isn't like the show. This is like slapped together. It's like, they made a joke about it. It's all good. It's all good.
That's some early South Park shit right there. But yeah, continues to be funny. Man, Harley is so great because she can just endlessly dunk on and poke fun at everything else in the DC universe, which is so what they need, something to take them down a peg and make them not so serious.
Yeah.
I loved that so freaking much. What was frightening, though, is that they still haven't announced Season 3 yet. They even made a joke about how we're not here to announce Season 3, sadly.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't. Maybe it's like one of those things like, well, we want to announce it, but we don't know what streaming platform we're going to put it on.
I really thought they were going to answer that, too, where it's like, hey, we're killing, DC Universe, or we're folding it into HBO Max. But no, they didn't do that.
No.
That's weird. If nothing else, I'm happy that Justin Halpern just didn't lie to me and be like, we don't know if we're doing a Season 3. No, the executive producer legitimately did not know if they were doing a Season 3. Think about that for a second. Big popular show. Everyone's talking about it. We don't know.
And it's especially weird considering the turnaround between seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah, that they got an order for 26 episodes. It's like, well, what about Season 3?
Yeah.
And again, Harley made fun of it. It's like, well, they're probably watching the HBO Max number, so if you want it, go watch it on HBO Max. And also, it's probably up to some fucking limp dick executive to decide if it comes back or not. And I'm like, that is so funny and so sad because it's so true.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? At least Harley Quinn got a segment in this, unlike Young Justice, where it's like, hey, any word on season 4 of that?
Yeah, no, Titans got it. Titans got it. That's it. You know, remember Titans?
I try not to.
Yeah, they announced some stuff. They announced that Jason Todd's becoming Red Hood, and what else? They announced, Barbara Gordon's joining the show because they're going to Gotham. And I'm like, who gives a shit? It's like, again, like, we're going to have a Jason Todd who's a little boy. He's a little boy, without also being killed by the Joker as well. He's just going to, like, turn it because he's sad.
Are they going to force Killing Joke in here? Are we going to have Barbara crippled by the end of this, or is she already going to be in a wheelchair? And are they going to make a big scene where she like rolls over like a criminal and just
rolls over his neck and
rolls over his testicles, and it's like, yeah, fuck Batman. That's what they're going to do. That show is not for me, if you couldn't tell. I tried watching it and it caused me great pain.
Who is it for?
I don't really know, because it's like, hey, let's mash up Wolfman and Perez era Titans with Dark Knight Returns for some reason.
Yeah, it's very strange. It's very strange as well, considering like Greg Berlanti produces it.
Yeah.
It's like this is nothing like he produces like Stargirl and all that stuff. So like this is completely different to what you usually do.
Yeah.
Usually you have a pretty good handle on these characters.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like every other show that was on the DC Universe app, you know, Doom Patrol and Stargirl and Harley, and they all knocked it out of the park. Yeah, you might be onto something, Soldier. Edgy preteens, I guess. I guess it's for the Riverdale crowd, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a thing you know, but darker and more fucked up.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it,
but I guess enough people like it that they're coming out with a season 3, so more power to them, I guess.
Yeah.
I will let people like things. Ba-dum. All right. Ooh, so we got some more video game stuff here. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, which, yeah, that actually is the name and not a joke name.
No, it isn't.
Which is fine by me, because the game actually has a real sense of humor, and there's more color going on than your average Rocksteady thing. In fact, they pretty much drop the Arkham aesthetic completely and do a new thing. It actually felt a lot like Sunset Overdrive.
And it makes sense, because we're not in Gotham anymore. We're not in Arkham anymore. We're in Metropolis.
Yeah, which is pretty fucking dope, actually. And goddamn Brainiac is attacking.
Yeah, Brainiac is attacking and has mind-controlled Superman, maybe?
And assumedly all the other heroes, which is how they get to be boss fights and also explain away why they're hurting people, but also still being superpowered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I can do it. This clearly must still be really early on in production, because unlike Gotham Knights, where like we saw gameplay, we don't even know what kind of game this is yet.
Yeah, the guy who Will Arnett interviewed afterwards, like, I don't even think he really knew. Like, it sounded like it's similar to that Gotham Knights game, where it's like you can have 4-player co-op, or you can play on your own and then switch between the members. And yeah, it just seemed exactly the same.
Also, Jaden saying Deadshot is a black guy even though he's white. Did you miss the Suicide Squad movie, Jaden? I think you missed the Suicide Squad movie, which clearly this game was in development along the movie, which is why he looks like Will Smith.
But then why did they... that's why I don't understand why the guy said this is set in the Arkham universe.
Whatever. Who cares?
It's like, just say he's like Deadshot 3 or something, and just like he killed Floyd or something.
I think I have the answer. Multiverse. DC Multiverse. It's on the Multiverse.
Brought to you by DC Fandome.
DC Fandome. Man, Multiverse is going to be our new creativity over continuity. I can tell you that right now for free. As Louise rightly says, it's Deadshot who gives a fuck. Thank you, Louise. You're absolutely correct on that. Yeah, because when I looked at this, I got a real, like, Left 4 Dead vibe, where it's like, okay, so is it you and 4 friends taking on, like, waves of Brainiac drones, and then these guys are, like, the bosses at the end, like the big super undeads?
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. Like, again, like, it's a CGI trailer, and you can't really get any sense of the gameplay from it. But yeah, from what the guy said, it sounds like that, or like a combination of that and like what Gotham Knights was, where it's like it's kind of like an RPG because you can customize your gear and everything. So it's literally the same game except from the villain's point of view.
Yeah, you know what I was actually super afraid of actually when I first saw the trailer and I saw them all jumping around and everything. I'm like, oh no, is this a hero shooter? Is this an Overwatch? Is this a Fortnite? Did they just slap Suicide Squad on a Fortnite, which they did for G.I. Joe if you've been paying attention?
Yes, they did.
Again, it's impossible to tell because it is a CGI trailer. And again, what type of game it is might even change by the time we actually do see gameplay.
Yeah, well, this doesn't come out till 2022, so it's definitely next-gen stuff. And yeah, we're probably going to see quite a few changes, I have to say. I imagine we're going to see quite a few changes.
Because there always are. Yeah, is it first person? Is it third person? We don't know. It's Rocksteady, and a lot of these guys fight with projectile weapons, and so much of their other combat in the Batman games was all melee, kind of rhythm-based combat. So what does it mean, Basil? What does it mean?
Yeah, any of these characters even going to look like this when the game comes out?
Who knows? Again, it's like Rocksteady. You guys haven't made shooters before, and Boomerang's probably gonna play like a shooter, and Deadshot definitely gonna play like a shooter, and he have Jetpack now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, and again, like Boomerang has a weird teleportation device like Tim did in that Arkham game.
That's a popular thing now, isn't it? Characters being able to teleport.
And they're both ranged characters as well.
Oh no. Oh no, man, it's quite a thing. But yeah, I mean, it definitely looks cool. I mean, I like Suicide Squad. I like video games. Our cup fucking runneth over with superhero video games now. Between this, Avengers, that Miles Morales Spider-Man game.
People have realized you can make money from them if you do them good.
For real, yeah.
That Spider-Man game like opened Pandora's box.
Clearly, and now everyone wants a little bit of that spider dollars.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I'm down for that. Again, more content for us, more shit to talk about. I know the chat was saying, too, in some leaks that I guess we now know are 100% true. As the Suicide Squad, you can either kill or capture, but they won't let you kill or capture the Trinity.
So you can kill or capture, like, Green Lantern and stuff, can you?
You can, yeah, like, apparently Kyle Rayner and Wally are in this, and you can totally kill them.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna fridge Kyle so hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking fridge him so hard. And then when I'm beating on Wally, I'm gonna be like, this is for heroes in crisis.
Yeah, this is for Dan DiDio.
Yeah, he sent me. Dan DiDio sends his regard. Reigns of Castamere starts playing in the background. Also, apparently, like, Batman's not in this, though. Apparently there's some concocted reason as why there's no Batman.
Oh, God, is he, like, somehow stuck in Arkham?
Or something, yeah. Maybe it's just like, look, we don't even want to touch Batman.
I reckon they should do a Batman, but you don't know if it's Bruce Wayne, and then it's, like, revealed it's, like, Dick.
Yeah. Red Robin, apparently, according to the leak, is in the game instead of Batman.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's kind of a downgrade.
Yeah, really. It's me, Red Robin. I'm just as good. Don't you mean Drake right now? No, I'd never wear brown. Fuck you. That's dumb as shit. I'm a big boy. Which I guess, too, because realistically it'd be easier to kill Batman than it would be to kill Superman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
We keep shooting them, but nothing's happening. So, yeah, I guess that's it, Matt. I guess that's everything from Fandome.
Not everything. We got one more thing.
Oh, shit, that's right. Maybe the biggest one. How did I forget that? So, yeah, a little trailer for a little indie movie. You may possibly have heard about it once or twice. It stars the Robert Pattinson. It's from the Planet of the Apes guy. I believe it's called Nightman.
Nightman, the fighter of the Light Man. Yeah,
champion of the sun. It's going to be very popular. Now, of course, it's the Batman from the Matt Reeves, and yeah, it's a pretty fucking cool trailer.
It's a damn fucking good trailer, considering they only had 25% of the film shot.
Tell me about it. I will say, though, one thing I didn't like about it, and it's not really the Batman's fault, it's every other trailer we saw's fault. No more cover songs. Joel, no like cover song. You can only do a cover song if it's a sad song you make happy or a happy song you make sad. No do Nirvana, which already bleak song, do bleak cover of. And also, what Zack Snyder have against Leonard Cohen? Why he always do bad cover of Leonard Cohen's song and everything? Did Leonard Cohen run over his dog?
He ruined it by always doing it.
Yeah. Did Leonard Cohen run over his fucking dog? I don't know. But yeah. So Robert Pattinson's costume looks really good. You actually pointed out something on Twitter that I never even considered, but I totally agree with.
What's that?
That Batman's just hanging out with cops, helping them solve murders like in the comics.
It's great, eh?
Feels right, doesn't? Like, how did it take us so long to get here? Yeah, he just walks around the crime scene, does his Batman thing, and Gordon's like, yeah, it's my friend the Batman.
Yeah, and then later on in the trailer, there's a clip of him and like getting into a brawl with cops.
Yes, absolutely.
Like in a cop station.
Yeah, I wonder how we got there. Stylistically, boy, they probably watched Seven a lot, didn't they? Because this feels a fuck lot like Seven.
Yeah, Matt Reeves said like movies like Chinatown and Taxi Driver and all those type of like gritty 70s sort of mystery movies are going to be very influential on this. And again, like Seven, definitely very influential on this.
Again, some serial killer going around doing elaborate crimes and leaving green riddle cards behind.
Imagine making a Riddler terrifying. How good's that?
Yeah, scary Riddler guy. You can't find him. He's got an obsession with this hero who's been running around. So now the stakes have been raised, and now I want to be your villain. And so Batman has to actually, go out of his way to use his mind and be a detective to catch a killer.
One thing I also really enjoyed is they completely shied away from what other Batman films have done, which is, here's Bruce Wayne, he's a, handsome billionaire and he fights crime with all these cool gadgets and big action and all that. Here it looks like Pattinson's Bruce is just as mentally ill as the villains he practices karate on.
Yeah, not a bad take. I mean, the image that, everyone is talking about is that he takes off the mask and you see that he's actually painted his eyes, which is like, yeah, he'd have to do that. I'm glad they're actually saying that he does that now.
Well, they do that in the other Batman films, in like the Schumacher and the Burton ones, and then like whenever he takes his mask off, it's not there, and it's so annoying. And I'm so glad they after 8 or 9 movies, they finally done it.
Which again says a lot about his mental state in the I paint my face for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, which again, when he cries, it's all that much sadder. But he does more than mope, Matt. This Batman beats the fuck out of clowns in the streets.
Boy, does he ever. And as someone pointed out on Twitter to me, he beats them when they're down as well. And it's like, That's such a Batman thing.
Yeah, really. Which, man, I'm like, yeah, okay, I buy this dude is crazy. I buy this dude is dangerous. And also, like, I'm a great martial artist, but you're like a shitty clown. So punch, 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 punch. Just no technique, no nothing, just punch, punch, punch.
I kind of like that, like an early Batman who doesn't have like all that like fancy like League of Assassins training or anything, and he's just like pure rage, and it's just like he'll use the environment he'll throw a fucking like piano at you or something.
Yeah.
Just beat the fuck out of you or something.
Yeah, I like that idea where it's like, no, I'm young, I'm invincible, nothing can hurt me, or if I do, I'll bounce back from it, as opposed to later Batman who's matured and is like, no, I will use my enemy's tactics against them, kung fu, don't overexert yourself, that sort of thing. We also, again, we mentioned Riddler before, but there's lots of other villains. We briefly see, Colin, what's his face?
See, I don't think we do it. Everyone keeps saying that that's him for no reason. It doesn't even look like Colin Farrell, because we've seen pictures of Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and he looks like Emperor Penguin.
Oh, really?
With the like slick back like silver hair and everything. We've seen like set photos. Looks nothing like that guy. So I'm going to assume the guy everyone thinks that is Penguin isn't Penguin and is actually Sal Maroni.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, I like that better, Matt. I think you're on.
And
to
it kind of
something
makes
that
sense
more
because like in the
sense.
scene that he's in like with a bunch of like other like thugs and stuff, and they're all like got like
Yeah.
machine guns and stuff shooting him and everything. So it kind of makes sense it would be him. Like Batman stopping like a drug deal or something.
And he's like, yeah, look at that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. Definitely. As I look at the face now, you're probably on just. I think people mistook a very Roman Italian American nose and being like, well, obviously
Yeah.
he's the Penguin. Look at that honker on his face. No, guys, that's just what some Italian people look like. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, if he's Emperor Penguin, yeah, I can buy that. Where he's all like slick boss tweed of Gotham and everything, all pimped out.
That's what he looked like in the set photos. Yeah, he had like the long coat on and like an umbrella and everything.
Is he gonna use his real accent, you think, or is he gonna American it up?
Oh, I'd love like a what is he? He's Irish. It's Colin Farrell, isn't he?
Yes, I do believe
Yeah,
so.
I'd love an Irish penguin. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's funny how like no one can ever really hammer down where he's from. Where it's like he's from Gotham, but he spent some time abroad and picked up the accent because he's a fucking douchebag.
Well, he's also a rich family as well. His parents could have been Irish or something.
There you go. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the set photo now. Yep, he's got an umbrella and yeah, a big fancy pea coat and everything. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, that definitely makes more sense. And we also see Proto Catwoman as well, who I like her ski mask forms cat ears.
That's pretty cool because it's too big and baggy.
Yeah, on her small head and everything. So yeah, wow, we're getting multiple villains in one movie, but it actually doesn't feel too overpacked.
Doesn't feel packed, not at all, not at all. I think as Matt Reeves said, all these characters are like before we know them, like they are kind of there, but they're not yet. And we'll over the course of the movie and probably the next movie and that GCPD show probably learn more about them.
Matt Reeves had the best interview by far when he was talking to Aisha. You could tell that was the one they knew. This is the big one. This is the big enchilada. Don't cheap out on this one. And they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, so this looks cool. Oh, I guess, too, we also saw Gordon there as well, who, that looks like Gordon, just haggard as fuck.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wright looks damn good as Gordon.
Yeah, just haggard as fuck, walking around here. Also, too, the idea that, we got a Gordon who is not a traditional white guy now. I hope that means when we get Batgirl, she will also not be a traditional white actress. Seeing as we're doing some colorblind casting for Batman, which I think you can get away with these characters that are, like, so done to death in every medium, where it's like you can have one that's different.
Yeah. Well, as well as it's good you mentioned that because also during this whole thing, it was also confirmed John Ridley's Batman 5G stuff is 100% going forward.
Yes, that's right. They had a weird thing when they were talking about. It's like there's a 47% chance that a white person won't be Batman in this book. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? If it's
just
Luke
say
Fox,
just say it, you know.
Just say it's Luke Fox, and eventually they did because I know Jimmy Palmiotti was happy because he's like, yeah, I invented Luke Fox. That's cool.
Yeah, and we're getting apparently a 4-issue miniseries from John Ridley, and I think Nick Derrigan, the artist who did like the Batman Universe book and all that.
Yeah.
With Luke Fox as Batman, that apparently is going to have big repercussions on the DC Universe. So I imagine this will be like his like primer series, and then he'll go off onto the main book.
Yeah, I guess it, because, like, apparently his series was supposed to be 12 issues, and it got, like, moved down to less, so I don't know, man. I guess we talked about this last week. I guess it's cool that they didn't throw out all of 5G, and they're letting, an interesting film writer write what should be an interesting comic, but at the same time, too, it's like, where is any of this going to fit in? Is any of this going to matter? You say it's going to matter, but I feel like none of this is going to matter by January when you reboot everything anyway.
Yeah, well, again, this I think it all stems from that 5G stuff, which was going to be the reboot anyway.
Yeah.
So again, I could see it being like, because in Death Metal we've obviously got a Batman who has a Black Lantern ring, and it could be possible that maybe Bruce Wayne dies during the end of that event, and someone has to take over, and through a series of events, it becomes Luke Fox.
Yeah, I guess.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. quite. But I mean, I'll definitely read it one way or another. I mean, I want to support different shit, and I liked Luke Fox. I was a big booster of his Batwing book back in the day when it was Palmiotti writing. I always thought they gave up on Luke way too fucking quickly.
Yeah, I always liked him as well, and hopefully if this means he comes back in popularity, they'll do something with him on that Batwoman TV show, because he's Luke Fox only a name on that show.
I forgot that was a thing. Hell, his crazy alternate counterpart was closer to him.
Oh man, his Elseworlds counterpart was so much better.
Opening the door with his shirt up and everything, sup.
Well, why was he running around with like an old man with his shirt open? That was a bit weird.
No idea. Also, hey, you know what else would probably be good to bring Batwing back into prominence? You know, with that Gotham Knight game, imagine the Batwing DLC.
That'd be pretty cool.
He's Batman, but also Iron Man. What's not to love? So, yeah, I mean, I guess with that out of the way, we've done a whole full show now, an hour 30, talking about the Fandome. We covered everything that was fit to print. What did you think of Fandome, Matt, ultimately, as we do our big kind of summation?
Ultimately, I thought it was pretty damn good. There were parts in it that kind of made me question some of the stuff that AT&T are doing, like they're obviously pre-recording all this stuff and not even trying to, like, distract everyone from the fact that they're kind of gutting all their companies there and everything and all that. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, the stuff I liked, I was gonna like anyway, regardless of when they told me or if it was part of a big show or not. The rest of it was made kind of hard to swallow again by the specter of corporate interference and by the massive company-wide bloodletting that's been taking place. Again, not their fault, but again, made harder to deal with, where it's like, ooh, you did this months in advance because you probably knew, hun. Oh, you're using fans' love as a prop and everything, and like, oh, look at us, aren't we good guys? I'm like, you meant this to be damage control. You're like, no, see, it's cool, we can fire everyone on Monday, because in 2 weeks we're going to do this, and they're going to be talking about Batman, and they're not going to care what evil schmucks we are.
Yeah, and again, it makes me wonder about this, like, because they obviously separated it. Like, what's that second part going to be like? Now that it's like, because it's further in the future from this whole like firing stuff, and more firing could happen between that. Books could get cancelled, stuff like that.
It probably will. I guess we'll have to wait till September to find out for sure, especially because this one looks to be more comic focused, the one that they moved.
Yeah, comic and TV focused,
Yeah. Which again, too, it's like you guys had a chance to edit a lot of this stuff and you didn't. Did you move that stuff because you have to edit out people you fired and shit that's not happening anymore?
Kind of makes you think that, doesn't it?
Man,
have to edit people out and edit new people in that have taken those roles, and
because like there was stuff here, like again the cultish Schneider people, where it's like you had a long time to edit that out and you kept that in.
Yeah. Again, that's the weird thing. They'll keep stuff like that in, where he just spends like 20-30 minutes just shitting all over fucking DC, just shitting all over what the comics mean and everything. And that yet they won't, talk about like the Dwayne McDuffie stuff. Won't mention anything about like all that stuff.
No, we were in a lawsuit. No, it's fine. Everything's cool.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's very weird. Again, the stuff I liked. Everything else felt a little gross and felt grosser because of everything that's been going on. Would you like to see Fandome become a yearly thing, Matt?
I mean, if they maybe refine it just a little bit more. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that sort of become like their, like Comic-Con, their Hall H, and they move away from the whole Comic-Con sort of stuff and just do something like this. Everyone can go, we can all go, and
like their E3. I definitely think that this was a trial run for exactly what you're saying, because they didn't get Comic-Con. They're like, well, let's bet on ourselves and do our own thing. I imagine, too, that it felt weird and janky because we are doing this during a global fucking plague right now, where no one could be in the same room and no one could actually be within 6 feet of each other. Maybe if they actually did film this on a goddamn studio and have one host and everything, maybe it would be better.
Yeah. Again, as I said, just tighten it up a little bit. Like, As you said, it's a trial run, so yeah, I imagine they if they end up doing it again, or maybe this was a trial run for the next one they do in September, and maybe tighten that one up a little bit more. But yeah, the only thing I wish they won't do, if they do make this a yearly thing, they don't put it behind like a fucking paywall. Like, you got to have HBO Max to view this, or
don't give them any
like
ideas,
that.
Matt. Someone just heard you, Matt, and they're like, wait, we could put this on the app.
They're rushing into a boardroom at the moment.
By God, they are. You just gave them $1 million idea, Matt. Oh my God. Are you sure you don't work for AT&T? Because you're an evil genius, Matt. Wow. Oh my God. That's the dark future. If you want E3, you got to get this app. You want D23, you got to get the app. We're hiding it all behind apps now. Oh, that just ruined my night right there. That they might put all these shows behind apps. Oh, man. But
either you know what's gonna happen.
Of course. All right. So on that apocalyptic note, everyone, we'll start winding the show down. Be sure to tell us in the comment section before, what was your favorite part of Fandome? What's the project that you're the most excited about? And what's a thing that you would change if this does end up becoming a yearly thing? I'll be interested to see what people have to say on that matter. And again, I want to thank everyone for coming and joining Matt and myself for spending our Saturday night here. We had quite a few people here, Matt.
We did. We got upwards of like 60 people. That's great.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. I'm glad everyone came out and said, hey, on the off chance you're new, you'll get to relive the magic over on the Cape Joel YouTube channel. Wednesday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I upload it. If you're a patron, which you can become for as little as $1 a month, helps keep the lights on, helps keep everything running smoothly. You'll probably get the video and audio version of this right away. Matt tries to get it to you, and I try and put it up on Patreon as soon as I can. And yeah, that's just about it. You got anything else cooking up, Matt? Anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. I'm probably gonna go like sleep for 12 hours now.
Yeah, you've certainly earned it. As for me, I am continuing to not leave my house because of quarantine and no other reason.
But Tenant and Unhinged.
Man, I gotta look at myself in the mirror today. This is the palest I've ever been in August. I have not gone to my condo's pool once because they have all these rules where it's like, well, you can't use the facilities here, and you can't shower, and you got to bring your mask, and you don't have to have the mask on in the pool, but you have to have it when you're off. And I'm just like,
swimming in a mask.
Yeah, I'm like, that's too many fucking rules. And because it's so hot in here, the AC sucks. All the old people are over there, and you can only have like 8 people over there at a time. And I'm like, that's not just. I'm just gonna fucking sweat through my clothes and go shower. It's fine.
just pretend your shower is a pool.
There you go.
Cover the drain and fill it up with water.
I take solace knowing I'm not the only one living like this right now, and there's a lot of people whose summer is just whizzing by for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to suck when Halloween whizzes by. I like a lot of parents are like, how are we going to deal with that like Halloween is just canceled this year? No Halloween parties, no sexy costumes to be found. We're all just going to have to eat candy at home and dress up for no reason. And it's gonna suck.
You're gonna have like was it Zoom trick or treats where like you just set your Zoom up and then random people join and just trick or treat, and I don't know what you do. You send them a virus or something. I don't know.
Give you candy bits instead of bitcoins. It's candy coins. You can take these candy coins and, I don't know, trade them for actual candy somewhere.
Yeah, each candy buck is worth 2 real bucks.
Oh man, that's a good exchange rate. Holy shit. Or you can hold on to your candy coins for, when the economy crashes and, paper money goes away.
No, that guy that just bought pizza with these candy coins just lost out on $40,000.
I had pizza tonight, actually. That was my cheat meal because I've been good on my diet and I earned it. And also NXT had a thing tonight and AEW had a show and I needed it.
Everyone had shows tonight.
Clearly, yeah. All right, everyone. So for real, we're going to bring the show to a close. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and listening to us and everything. If you still stuck around through pool talk and candy coin talk, you are the real OGs, the true fans, and let no one tell you any different. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.